all the way through high school level, college level. Did some Frontier League. And everything I talked to you about tonight will be from 2010 and before. I work at college level games. Just kidding. But I've been with 3 associations in my life, and by far, hands down, FVB is number 1. Not because of me, it's not because of Jeff, not because of Alan, it's because of all of you. So the fact that you guys are sitting here tonight is a testament to the association and to your commitment to the quality of life. Right? Too many times we see people out there, right, who, they don't look good, they're not looking good, they're not hustling out the work line, right? That's not what we want. So I appreciate the opportunity to be in front of you today. We have a great mix here. We have some newer umpires. Welcome. We have some veteran umpires. Thank you for your support. You will learn nothing from me tonight. But it really is geared towards the newer umpire, right? So it's game day management 101. And what I want to talk to you about is really the entire day, right? Because, when I wake up and I'm going to have a game, one of the first things I think about is the game, right? I get excited. I get butterflies, right? And so I just want to walk you kind of through that process and make sure that you're thinking about all the right things in the lead up to the game. A lot of our training is all about mechanics and rules and in-game management. We rarely talk about what are we doing before the game and what are we doing after the game, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. So before you arrive, partner pregame, coaches pregame, right? First impression, right? In-game management, your partner postgame. We'll talk some tips to remember. We'll take some questions. I'm sure it'll be an interactive group. I see some people that like to interact during the sessions. Won't say any names. At this point. And then if we have time, right, I'd like to do a little round table. Hopefully everybody came with a question, or many of you came with a question. And those questions aren't necessarily for me, they're for the group, right? So we'll have an interactive session. And then Alan, is Alan still with me? I don't know, what time are we done?
I'll get till 9.
Till 9 o'clock? Okay. Well, I will be at a bar before 9 o'clock, so we may be doing a round table session there. All right, so Skinny Allen, number 6, before you arrive, right? So this is where we're talking about the day of the game, right? So I'm going to know who my partner is for my next 5 games. So we send out the 5-day rolling schedule, right? I know who my partner is every single game. So I'm going to reach out to my partner, probably well before the day of the game, but I mean, at minimum the night before, or depending on work, maybe the morning of, if we miss each other. Right. I want to talk about bases. I want to talk about the play. I want to get my head right. So that when I go to the game, right, I know I'm working the ditch, right? It's always my preference, right? If I'm working with a veteran, right, the communication's a little bit different in that, I'm going to ask for the dish, but I'm always going to defer to the veteran, all right? So, hey, Alan, man, I've been working really hard at my plate game, and I'd love for you to, just kind of take a look at me today. And I know you're the veteran, I defer to you, but man, I'd really like to do the dish. What do you think? Right? How many veterans are going to say no to that? Right? Well, there's one. Right. Take the opportunity when you're working with, especially the young guys, when you're working with a veteran, take the opportunity to grab the dish. Tell the veteran that you want it. Right? So many times we just kind of show up and, whatever, man, I'm good. No, I'm thinking about it that morning. Right? So I got my head right when I get to the game. I know I'm working the dish. It's a big game. I got a big partner. Right? So my head's in it. I also want to talk about my colors, right? So what are we wearing? Right? Are we wearing black? Are we wearing cream? You know, what colors you want to wear? And it's not just the shirt, right? It's also the t-shirt, right? What do you want to wear underneath? And it's not just the t-shirt, it's the pants, right? We wearing Honig's charcoal, right? We wearing Smitty's charcoal because they're different. Now, as a young umpire, you can't have every single color, and we'll talk about what's in your bag a little bit later in the presentation. But as you build out your inventory of apparel, first impressions are key, especially in this sport. So when we as a team walk onto the field, we look exactly the same. We look sharp. Right? So that's all those things you're going to talk to your partner about well before the game ever starts. Where are we going to meet? So, you know, have I been to this high school before? Have I been to this complex before? You know, I certainly don't want to park up front. I want to be as far away as I can, right? Especially for my post game. You know, so where do you want to meet? What are you driving, right? What color's your car? All right, man, I'll meet you at the northwest corner of the parking lot, right? I'll be there an hour ahead of time because I'm so excited, right? Where am I going? You know, it's funny. I'm from Ohio, so I've been up here since 1996. And when I first started the signing, you know, this was well before we had the technology with all the field locations and everything. The guys would call me, Bev, where am I going? Where's Dixon? Right? Oh, no, that was me asking you.
Just go down Randall Road to 88.
Yeah, Randall Road to 88. The only problem is they don't intersect. I drove around Aurora for an hour looking for an on-ramp. So, anyways, you know, the guys would call me, right? And they would say, hey, Bev, man, I'm going to, you know, wherever, right? Heritage Park. You know, how do I get there? I don't know. Right? You know, so don't rely on me. All right? I've been here 20 years now. I can't use that, you know, excuse anymore that I don't know where these parks are. But you know, I don't mean to be mean or anything, but I mean I'm not your babysitter. I mean, you guys are all adults, right? You guys are all umpires. So just know where you're going, right? Doing that all ahead of time. So it's just those little things, right? And I'll say this 100 times tonight because I want to make sure that my head's right. Day of the game. My head's in the game. Focused on what I'm going to do. Equipment and dress code. So again, this is 101, so I'm really focused on the newer umpires, right? Make sure you have all of your basics. You don't have to have all 12 colors, right? You don't have to have all 4 of the charcoals. Make sure you start out with the basics. And then if you can financially, you know, every time you get a check, just carve out a little bit of money and splurge it on yourself. You guys worked hard, right? You worked hard for that paycheck. And I know we all have life responsibilities, but just take a little bit of that. Go buy a second pair of pants and then a third pair of pants. Go to the garage sale this Saturday. And I put down at 10 o'clock. I apologize. I believe it starts at 9. Correct?
Yep.
So newer umpires, great opportunity that FVB gives to you to build your inventory at a reduced price. So please take advantage of that. Plate shoes, base shoes, multiple pairs of black socks, right? What are you wearing underneath, right? Are you wearing the full tights? Or are you wearing the shorts and the long socks, right? Personal preference, but all stuff that you need to think about, right? All stuff that you need to have in your bag the day of the game, right? Really, really good friend of mine showed up at a game at Crystal Lake South, long time ago. And so I pull in, and he's in his trunk, and shit's flying everywhere, and you know, F-bombs are flying everywhere. I'm like, hey man, what's wrong? He goes, I can't find my freaking socks. Right? He's thinking, so, well, why are you looking for your socks, you know, 45 minutes before the game, right? And so his nickname is Socks McGlynn, right? So, but I won't say his name. I just use his nickname so nobody knows who I'm talking about. Great umpire, right? make sure that you have everything in the bag ready to go the morning of, the night before. Okay? Inventory your equipment and inventory your apparel every time you have a game. Right? So the night before, I'm making sure that I have my socks. And I have extra pairs of socks. And I'm making sure I have my colors, right? And I know I'm wearing black. And I know I'm wearing white underneath, right? And I know which charcoals I'm wearing. All that's in the car and it's ready to go. Right? And for the newer umpires, when you pack your apparel, never leave your apparel in the back seat for a prolonged period of time. Okay? Something with the sun and the windows, right, will turn your pants a nice shade of pink. And so if you're spending $60, $70, $80 for these pants, you want to make sure that you take care of them. Okay? So, take them out or get yourself a suit bag that you can put them in so that they're not, in the elements. Because you don't even think about it if they're in the back seat of your car, right? I think they're safe. But something with the sun changes the color of the pants. Right? So inventory everything. Make sure you have everything that's ready to go the night before. So that way, the day of the game, my head's in the game. The last thing I'm thinking about is whether I brought my belt or not, right? Because I know that it's in there. Look like an umpire, act like an umpire. Everybody's heard me say that a million times, right? First impressions. I go to work every day. I got a jacket on, right? I make impressions on people every single day of my life. So whether it's in your career, or it's on the field, or it's with your partner, right? Look like an umpire, act like an umpire. Because first impressions matter. How I look at you as a coach when you walk onto the field really matters. Because I will treat you differently until I figure out whether you're a good umpire or not, right? And then in some cases, I may still treat you differently. You could be the best umpire in the world, but if you look like shit, I may treat you differently, right? And unfortunately, that's kind of the way the culture is. Right? Look like an umpire, act like an umpire. It's not difficult to do, right? How long does it take you to shine your shoes between games? Anybody?
A couple minutes.
Couple minutes, right? And literally, it's just a couple minutes. And you know when I shine my shoes? During my post game. Sitting at my car, in my chair, I'm talking to Jeff about the game. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm spraying my shoes, brushing my shoes, wiping my shoes, and putting my shoes away. All right? My bag's ready to go for the next game. My shoes are shined. My uniform is prepped. I'm not just taking my pants out of the dryer and putting them on a slick hanger, right? I'm going to put an iron to them. Now, I'm not having them dry cleaned all the time, right? If I don't have to, because that costs money, right? But I'm taking the extra care to make sure that my equipment, my apparel looks good. They're clean, they're creased. Always use the felt hanger, right? Again, this is this little game day management 101, right? Anyone ever seen an umpire who has wrinkles going this way, right at the middle of their thigh? Does everybody know what that's from? That's from putting them on a plastic hanger that went like this in the car, and they slid down, and they sat like that for 10 hours before your game, right? So just invest in, they come in packs of 30 at TJ Maxx for $8, right? There's their felt hangers, right? Put them on the hanger, pull them out to stretch them, right? So they're nice and creased, and you're good to go. You'll never have that problem again. Clean and creased hat, right? I didn't bring a hat. Anything would look good. Anybody have one in my car? No, all good. Anyways, So a clean hat, that's easy to remember, right? But a creased hat, anybody know what a creased hat is? Right? Take the eye holes, right? So I'm not gonna ruin it.
You play.
And then what you do is you make the crease across the top, right? You kind of work it out a little bit, right? Work it. And then over time, you'll get a nice crease. And then your hat, will end up looking like this. Right? And then what you do is you spray it just with a little bit of water. And you fold it over like this. And you take a potato chip clip and you clip it. You just clip it right there with one of those little 99-cent potato chip clips, right? And then I have a little bin in my trunk, right? Again, 2010. That I keep all my hats in. And they just sit there like that. And then when I pull it out, I take the potato chip clip off and I pull it out, and it's perfect. It's first impressions, right? Somebody work that down. Patches. Everybody have patches to start the season? Does everybody know that there are different color patches for FVB? It took me a while to figure this one out, right? Like, yeah, just get a patch. Call Jeff, right? He'll get you a patch. Make sure you have the right color patch for the right color shirt. All that posted on our website. Dress code. Right. Wasn't there in 2010. Just saying. Numbers. Everybody have numbers to start the season? A couple numbers have been retired. Saying 22. Actually, if you don't have numbers to start the season, Jeff, are we still going through you?
Yeah, it's totally optional.
It used to be back in the day, numbers were sacred, right? I mean, they really were. There many numbers could not be, duplicated. We've reached a point now with our membership is at what?
550.
550 active, semi-active umpires, right? So obviously we're duplicating numbers. So whatever your favorite number is at this point, just let Jeff know so he can record it, so we can keep that on file, and then make sure you get your numbers. You can get them through. Purchase officials, through Jerry Davis, right? So if you already have your shirts, you just need the numbers. Call them up, let them know what colors you have, and they'll get you the right numbers. You want to have numbers on your shirts. Okay. First impression, look like an umpire, act like an umpire. Looks good. What else is in my bag? Flask, yes.
That's for the post game.
Yeah. All right, so we think about on the field, right? But what else is there, right? There's a water spray bottle, right? So that I can spray my shoes when I'm cleaning them. I need a brush. I need at least one brush for my shoes. I need a rag, right? Wipe things up. I need the what's the smelly stuff that you spray? Febreze, right? I definitely need Febreze, right? From sweating through all my equipment. Right? So during my post game, I'll lay out my chest protector, I'll spray a little bit, let it start to dry, right? While I'm doing my post game. Right? Got to have a chair, right? Looks like Alan's got, his golfing mat. What else? What else are we missing?
Second set of shoes or a spare pair of shoelaces.
Spare set of shoelaces. That's a great one. Right? Because you know what karma's gonna do, right? Minutes you don't have them, they're gonna snap.
Whatever you use for your lineup cards.
Yeah, right. Extra pencil, extra pen, right? Because it's gonna stop or it's gonna break at some point. So you have an extra one. Extra indicator. even if it's just, an inexpensive plastic one. And again, I'm not advocating to the newer guys to go out and spend $1,000. It's not what I'm advocating at all. Right. What I am advocating is what I said earlier, is reward yourself, each time you get that nice big paycheck, and just take a little bit out of it and go buy an indicator, or buy, an extra lineup card holder, or an extra pair of pants, or whatever it is.
Clean ball bags.
Clean ball bags, not just ball bags.
Sunglasses,
Sunglasses. Right. Make sure.
particularly in a dusty day when it's blowing back in your face.
Dusty day, make sure you get UV rated, right? And you can buy UV rated sunglasses for $10. Right? Anything else?
Gum.
Gum.
If you're a gum chewer.
Gum. Tobacco, if there's tobacco.
Sunscreen back in the day.
Sunscreen, right? Right. What about bug spray? Right? You're working those night games out at the swamp,
Fabric softener sheet.
Fabric softener sheet. Yep. So think again, newer umpires. Think about all that. Write yourself down. Write a list. Right. We'll post this presentation, right, Colin?
It's already on the Facebook page.
Already on the Facebook page, right? Find a mentor. Right. There's mentors in this room. I'm looking at. There's a dozen of them in here. Find a mentor. Ask your mentor. Hey, what were those 20 things I need to keep in my bag? All right. They'll send you a list of them. Okay. Think through all that stuff in advance. Right. If you choose seeds, right, you don't want to have to, 2 minutes before you get to the park, say, oh shit, I forgot my seeds, and now I got to stop somewhere and go buy them. All that stuff ready to go. Any questions before you arrive? Gerald, you're doing great. Partner pregame. One of my favorite parts of being an umpire. Sit and talk on baseball. Okay? Whether I'm working with a newer guy or I'm working with a veteran. Right? Just so much opportunities to either learn or to help somebody. Right? Always have a good pregame. Park away from the masses. Park as far away as you can. All right? You have no friends at the game. All right? Communicate in advance. We talked about that. When are you showing up for your game, right? So you have a big varsity game for Jeff, right? Working with a veteran umpire. When are you going to show up? Veterans, when do you show up for a high school varsity game? 45 minutes, right? College game, a little bit more, right? You're working Frontier League, you're working Northwoods, right? You got to rub up your own baseballs.
They say an hour and a half.
Right? Hour and a half. Sorry, guys, I've been battling a cold for a while. 45 minutes minimum, I think, is everything I've heard. Right? Now, if I'm working a game day event, all right, I need to be there 45 minutes before. Sure.
Yeah, fine, parking. Because they're gonna start
They
30 minutes early.
They start.
Yeah, they're going to start 30 minutes early, right? Because Mike Smith's running the tournament. Yeah, absolutely. 45 minutes early. Matter of fact, for the newer guys, if I'm working one of our big tournaments, I'm going 2 hours early. You know why I'm going 2 hours early?
Somebody's missing.
Wow, yeah, sure. Somebody's missing, but I can go watch. What better way to learn than to watch some of my veteran FVB brothers and sisters working games? All these game day games, right? Just to use game day as an example, they're all at big complexes. There's at least, minimum of, 4 fields per complex, whether it's Heritage or Rockford or wherever it's at. There's 4 games going on at a time. I mean, for a newer umpire, that's awesome, right? I can get out of work half a day earlier. If it's on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm not working. I leave a couple hours early. I go out and I just watch, and then I ask questions. That game's over, and I follow the veteran back out. They're done for the day, or they're changing, or whatever. And you can just sit there and talk, and you can just have a pregame even if you're working one man, if you're working these big tournaments, you can have pre-games and post-games, even working one man. There's all kinds of opportunities that FVB gives to you to help you become a better official. So even if you're not working a two-man game, if you're working one of the tournament games, go out there early. Plan to stay later. Like Ed said, man, somebody's always, getting sick or, God forbid we have a no-show or, there's always opportunities to work more games.
Somebody's running late, you fill in for a little bit because they'll do the same for you, but you shouldn't be running late.
There's always opportunities.
Nobody gets hurt.
Guys are making me nervous. Starting to have flashbacks. 45 minutes before the game. Do you let the manager, the home team coach know that you're there? All right. It's not a lengthy conversation. Hey, Alan, man, we're here. We're out in the parking lot. We'll see you 15 minutes before the game. Done. All right. One less thing that the manager, the head coach, now has to worry about. All right. We'll talk about walking up to the field in just a detailed pregame. Right. What's in a pregame? Certainly all of our rotations, right? First to third, what are we doing when I go out? All right. Going through every single possible rotation, right? Second play in the infield, right? I mean, there's 20 of them, right? We all know what they are. You can get them on a laminated card any day of the week, right? It's not just about the rotations and the mechanics. It's about your game management strategy, right? It's a big game today, right? These guys don't like each other, or they're battling for first place. How are we going to handle game management situations, right? I know Alan, the home coach, he's a hothead, and had an issue with him a couple weeks ago, right? Let's talk through how we're going to manage potential situations. We're not looking for them. We're preparing for them should they happen. Okay? Signals. All right, everybody's got different signals. The signals really changed since 2010. Right, we're still going like this. Right, still do that. Yeah. All right, a couple other.
Still do that.
You still do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Everybody? Yeah, I just making sure. What else? What else? Veterans, what else are we doing in our pregame?
One of the things that I want to know with my partners, especially if I'm working a plate, is on a pull, put, or a swipe, what's my base guy going to do? Is he going to make the call? And when this guy starts calling, he's going to come to me and say, Jeff, did he have, we're going to get together, say, did he have a bag? Did he have a tag? Or is he just going to point to me and say, did he have a tag? Those are two totally different approaches. And there's veteran umpires that do that both ways. And as the plate guy, I want to be prepared if he's just going to point to me and say, did he have a tag?
Really good one, Jeff. What else?
If you've got, essentially like a rundown where plate umpires can come and help, but talk about, okay, well, when I get here, the way I handle it is he's heading back towards you and I know I'm in position, I'm going to sit there and tell you, I'm here. Are you going to cover it the rest of the way on that rundown?
It's a good one, John, because it's not just getting there, it's agreeing when you're going to engage once you're there, right? And then you're going to verbalize it to let your partner know that you've officially engaged in that rundown, right? Is everybody in agreement? It's when the runner's going away from you. Is that typically when you get engaged? Right? Makes sense? I may get there a little bit early, right? I'm a hold back. Runner's going away from me. John, I'm here. Now I'm engaged. Right? Another good example. 3-man check swing, right? How are we going to handle check swings, right? Ball's in the dirt on a swinging third strike, right? What's my signal? All right, am I pointing down, ball's in the dirt, am I holding it up? So now my plate umpire, if he got blocked, catcher shifting, all right, he can simply look at me. And I've given him the signal. All these things we're gonna talk about at our pregame.
I was gonna say, in the pregame, I've had an umpire say, you see that hit the dirt, you call time right away, don't wait for me. Have another one say, don't you dare make that call, that's my call, until I ask you. So
Absolutely.
you gotta get that straightened away.
Absolutely. All done at the pregame. Now, if you're showing up to your game 15 minutes before and you're scrambling, you're not gonna do that, are you? You're not gonna have the opportunity to have those conversations, right? What are we doing on a pulled foot? What are we doing in a rundown, right? That's why it's so important to be there early. It's not just for you, it's for your partner. You guys are a team, right? Anything else? Did I miss anything else that we would go over in a detailed pregame?
For newer guys, do they know what this means?
All right, so the question is, newer guys, do you know what this means? Can any newer umpire tell me what this means? Yeah, go ahead.
Let's meet
Let's meet. All right,
next half inning.
let's meet next half inning. And only if it's not right after a shitstorm. All right, because if something happened to end the inning that just didn't work out well, right? The last thing I want to do is talk to my partner. Because the perception is what?
What did we blow
We're
that?
talking about that play, right? And so I don't want to, right? So even though I go like this, there may be situations where we're just, just use your judgment. We're not going to chat. I'll catch you next inning when there's no shitstorm.
Or after the game.
Yeah, or after.
So where are you gonna meet?
So where are you going to meet on the field? All right. So when the half inning ends, I'm the plate umpire. Where am I going to go?
Up one of those, up one of the bases.
Which one?
Meeting,
Defensive
you'd
side.
be the first base side.
Defensive side, right? Who said it? Right? Defensive. I don't want my back to the team that's going to bat because I want to be able to open up and see them, make sure they're not getting too close to the batter's box, right? So I'm always going to go up the line, and I'm only going up, a little bit past the cutout, right? I don't need to go too far.
30 feet.
30 feet. I'm gonna go up there, my mask is off, I'm standing there, I'm facing into the pitcher, I'm counting my pitches, right? Letting the catcher know, especially if the catcher still getting their gear on because they were batting last inning, I'll let them know when they come out. Hey, two, right? Got 2 pitches left. Just kind of watching, making sure my partner's good. I'm looking into the offensive team, make sure that they're not sneaking in towards the batter's box. And so if to your question, if I go like this, you're going to come into me. All right. So as the home plate umpire, I'm going to be in one of 2 places, always on the defensive side, every half inning. So you'll jog in to me. We'll have that conversation, whatever it is, and then you'll jog back out. And I'll talk about it a little bit later, but during those half innings, where's the base umpire?
That's what I asked.
Any new guy?
Halfway out in right field.
At right center? Not halfway out, man. That'd be a long way for me. I might not make it back. I'd be in deep A during the first batter. Right, but I'm in short right center, right? And what am I doing? Right? Because we're always working. When we're on the field, we're always working. Right? So I'm facing in, right? I'm counting pitches too, right? Maybe my partner's got a lineup change that they have to deal with, right? Maybe the coach wants to ask them a question. Right? So my partner always knows I got you. I'm gonna count the pitches for you. Right, so when I see my partner re-engage, right, they got a lineup charge, they get done, they look up and they make eye contact with me, right? Just going like this, not saying a word, just like this. My partner knows that I got his back or her back.
I like to watch the throws to first base, see if the first baseman is pulling his foot or trying to leave a little bit early, things like that. If the throws are wild, get an idea of how good the people are.
Yeah. There's an argument against, you know, looking for boogers though too, right? You know, not that that is necessarily one, but yeah, I get you. You're looking at the quality of ball that's being played around you, right? Anticipating
Throw from short to,
situations.
Jim, in that, I got something on the base umpire. One of the many ways we set ourselves apart as an association from other guys. I watched a kid play a lot of travel ball away. Base umpire and home plate umpire were talking every half inning. Stay the hell out in right field unless you really got something to talk about.
Right, if I'm working the plate, maybe I'll talk to him in the third or fourth inning. I'll give him one of these in the fourth inning just to see how things are going. But I don't want to be conversing every half inning when I'm working the plate. There's no way.
Yeah, so
And there's a lot of that out there.
yeah, no, good point. As the plate umpire, only time you and I are talking is when I go like this, right? You know, or if I'm out on the bases and there's just something really important I need to talk to you about, right? I'll get you like this. The next time you're going to come up the first base line, because the last thing I want to do as well is be crossing the infield, right? Because normally I'm going to park myself out in short right, so I don't want to run all the way over to the third base line. So I'll wait until my partner's going to come up the first base line. If it's something really important, I'll ask him, you know, hey, you mind if I come in at the end? Most of the time it's fine. But yeah, really good point. We're not talking during the game, right? In between innings, right? We're just not.
Fifth inning, I'll call him in, ask him what bar we're going to after
Yeah.
the game.
Right? Yeah, remind him if he's not a veteran and he's buying.
Right.
Right. Just, you know, hey, just want to make sure you hit that ATM before you came over. That's all the stuff on the last slide, right? About making sure you know.
Make sure I know how to get your house.
Is it okay to get drinks of water in between innings?
I'm sorry?
Is it okay to get drinks of water on hot days between innings?
It is,
Oh, it's
right?
critical.
It's critical to stay hydrated,
Yeah.
especially when you're working the plate. If it's any kind of humidity, anything over 70 degrees, you have to.
Yeah.
Whether you're thirsty or not.
Yeah, so the question was, is it okay to get a drink of water? You should.
I got
And
water
you should
on the side
bring,
all the time
you
between
should bring
innings.
your water, right?
Yeah.
Last thing you'll see me doing is going into a dugout to get a drink of water. I don't want to talk to anybody in the dugout, right? Coaches, players, so I'll have my bottle of water kind of tucked away in the backstop. I'll grab a drink, right? Or if you're a base umpire, you're up the first base line, you get your bottle of water sitting out by the fence. Grab your drink. Be careful, right? Because you're over, as the base umpire, you're over on that fence line. Who's going to want to talk to you?
Fans.
Right? Parents, right? The dad who, used to be an umpire or, coached his 12-year-old team and has a question. I got a question for you. No, I don't. All right, you have no friends. Right? You have your partner, and that's it. You have no friends at the baseball field. All right, equipment and apparel is ready for showtime. So as part of my pregame, right, what are these guys doing? Right? They're making eye contact. They're talking about what's important. I'm not digging through my trunk looking for my belt while Jeff's trying to talk to me about what are we going to do in a pulled foot situation. Right? My equipment, my apparel is game ready. When I show up on the field or in the parking lot, I'm ready to go. Know where everything is. I've done my inventory check. Right, either that morning when I pack my car or the night before. I know where everything's at. That way I can focus on my part. Especially for the newer guys. Right? This is where you learn. This is where you learn so much from these veteran umpires. And then we're going up to the field together. And I know I don't really have to say that, but I do. We walk onto the field together. Always. Right? Not, oh, hey man, I forgot my indicator. Go ahead up. I'll meet you there. Right? And then 5 minutes later, you're sneaking a cigarette out in the parking lot. Right? or your Zimmerman smoking a cigar on the way to the field. Okay? You're a team, you walk onto the field together. Veterans, you guys walk up 15 minutes early? Maybe not?
No,
Maybe about 10.
no, because we're standing around. One of the worst things you can do is be standing there while teams are taking batting practice.
Okay.
You know, if you know that the bus got there, you know we're gonna start at 4:30. We'll walk up there to get there by 4:25.
Okay, 4:25, and you're doing what?
When we walk up,
Yeah.
we are getting the coaches. If the teams are all ready to go, we're getting the coaches up to the pregame at 4:25.
We're checking equipment.
No,
Yeah, sign the books.
This is
coaches.
home.
Well, not too much anymore. Jeff, you took care of that, right?
Yeah, really, last year.
Most
Even
of them are getting
signing
done.
the books is not, you know, as critical as it was because the coaches had the daily email.
You're certainly not doing it after.
No.
You know, Jeff,
Right.
the only situation running with that with numbers is if you got a game and, the visiting team is not, you know, a non-conference that we don't cover.
Right. Yeah, those coaches are gonna be getting emails from us now too. The non-conference coaches, which you guys.
Send it out to everybody.
So technology says that we don't have to go sign the book, we don't have to write our number down, right? They're gonna get that information.
Yeah, I'd rather spend more time in the parking lot, just going over the last couple of details than walking up to the fence and waiting there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. It's good feedback.
I think we gotta check still. We have to check with them, make sure, do you need our number or anything? And everybody who we've checked with, except for one team that I can remember, said, no, we got it, we're okay. Now they know that you asked them.
I always try to watch the field, as soon as the visiting team starts taking infield, is when I go. By the time you walk up and do the paperwork, you do the paperwork, you're done, as soon as they're done, they're ready to go.
So at that point, when they take the field, you know you're 10 minutes away.
Yep, so you just kind of close up the truck, get up there and get.
So last year I had an umpire working game day, was wanting to check equipment before the game. So in no cases in travel ball are we checking equipment.
Asking.
Right? Just asking at the pregame, everybody properly equipped. Shaking my head, yes. Moving on. Okay.
I got a question.
Yes.
This is a real life example from a couple of years ago. What do we do 15 and it's now 4:30 and they're still taking infield practice? How do we handle that with that coach?
You're talking about the away team has a problem with the bus and they show up and it's 4:15 and their bus just pulls up. As far as I'm concerned, you're gonna go up there and I'm gonna ask that coach, how much time do you need? I'm gonna let him take the time he needs because the last thing I wanna do is piss off the away coach before the game starts, because I'm trying to rush him to be ready. Hey, you're supposed to be starting at 4:30 today. I'm here for your game. How long do you need? And then you go say, hey, he says he needs half an hour. We'll be back. So we'll come up as soon as he starts infield, we'll come up. And that's how I handle it.
That's how I got started when they start taking infield, the visiting team, and then they're 10 minutes up.
Yeah, I don't even start getting dressed if the bus isn't there. You know, the visiting bus. And you have some conferences that are so spread out that that's gonna happen. But that's exactly the way to handle it, Chris. Never tell the coach, it's 4:30, we're getting started. You know, we had an ejection of a very high-profile coach 2 years ago because an umpire tried to get him off the field because it was time to start the game. So we need to just be conscious of that. And it's not the school's fault, it's not the coach's fault that there's busing issues and referendums and stuff like that. You know, just, it's gonna take 5 more minutes and take the high road.
Call more strikes.
Are you asking because of limited visibility early in the season? Freshman, sophomore games, a lot of times they don't have lights. But really is that you're gonna be pushing daylight issues if you get it too long, so you're just saying you need a half hour, you don't really say. I'm just asking, I've had it a couple times where you can tell it's getting, close up.
It's not that coach's fault, we can't penalize him.
No, I'm not saying that, let's just have that conversation.
What gets me is when the home team is delaying their feeling, they're not at the field, say, hey, coach, we need to wrap it up pretty soon, we're 10 minutes from game time, they haven't been out here yet. So, yeah, just 2 more minutes, you know, I mean, again, you don't want to get him pissed off before the game starts, but again, you don't want to let things run on too long and be disrespectful to the other team.
Is a 10-minute infield accepted and sufficient in everybody's mind?
Yeah, most of the coaches are cool. They'll tell you, you know what, I just need to go around a couple times, you know, let my pitcher get warmed up. You know, if he says, let my pitcher get warmed up, you let his pitcher get warmed up. You know,
They're
that's
more
our best
concerned
interest.
about the
Yeah.
pitcher.
So I think the best move you can make is to not worry about it. Like, you know you're gonna be there till dark at the beginning of the year. If you get 6 innings in, who cares? You get about 7 in, who cares? Because you're gonna piss somebody off more than anything. So you just get off on the wrong foot. Don't go up there, don't worry about it, don't ask much how much time they need. When they're done taking you to go.
To manage the situation, right?
It's easy to manage, just don't worry about it.
All right, so this is my second slide from 2010.
Thanks for running that by us before you presented it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you did that, we would have left that on there.
Actually, I was gonna communicate with you via email, but then I decided not to respond to your last email. First impressions, right?
One other thing, I'll just say this really quick. 2 places I visited last year, they told me stories about the umpire, might have been the same guy, inspecting the field before the game and telling him, you gotta fix this, you gotta fix this, you gotta fix this. I don't think that's any part of our deal.
No, there's not, right? I mean, we're not picking boogers,
These are
right? We're
coaches
not-
that I know, and they come out and say, Mike, I don't know who this guy was that showed up here 2 days ago.
Mhm.
But he walked the field, and
No.
told me about everything that's wrong with my field. I said, well, tell Jeff.
Everybody's got that, we're not doing that. All right? Now, if there's a situation that is a danger to a player or to yourself, that's different. That we have to manage, right? And we're there in part to protect everybody and to keep everybody safe in safe playing conditions. But we're not walking the field, we're not walking the fences, right? Matter of fact, at pregame, we're having the home coach, right? Coach, take us through. Right? Coach will take you around in about 10 seconds. Right? Got a couple openings here, a couple openings there. We're gonna play this, right? And that's it.
Can I ask for guys that have worked some of the larger games, so like sectional finals, ever have to designate a press area or a camera photograph area on the field? Or?
Yeah, every once in a while. There'll be something. There'll be painful one, line painted. Now that you haven't come to play. Been there a couple times.
I don't know where I get it from. Last year I would walk the field, just the bases, check, make sure they were anchored. I never told anybody anything, but I would usually just check the field for myself. But I did a lot more travel games, but I wasn't telling people to fix holes or whatever, but I was just looking at the field. And you would see different stuff like drainage, and I was more for so I could see if something squirrely was happening or making sure the bases were anchored down or whatever. But that was just something I did, but I wouldn't act on it or talk to them or anything. But at the home plate, I would do coaches walk, or the home team walk, you know.
Yes.
Everything I should be aware of, but I would walk the field. It was kind of just me familiarizing myself with the field. And
So I would advocate that we not do that. Right?
Well, what if you walk it, you can tell that you got the base sitting up high, and it could cause an issue, somebody get
If
hurt.
you have a safety situation, you deal with it with the home coach. Right? But I'm not looking for boogers, right? I'm not trying to find something wrong, right? I'm not walking the field, right? I'm just not. I mean, you know, you're on the field, you're the official. You can look around the field and see if there's a dangerous situation or not. If there is, deal with it. 99% of the time, there won't be. Right? I mean, these coaches know how to, you know, they're typically managing their fields. So, yeah.
I think a good way around that is if you're after your plate conference and you're going to first base, you're jogging down the line, you're going down that way anyway. You're looking for a ball that maybe somebody missed that's left out in right center field or something. It's no big deal. But to look more than that, it's not even needed.
Yeah, we're not.
If you're running out there to right center field, it's not a bad time.
Yeah, it leaves a bad impression with the coaches, right? You're looking for stuff. So pregame, coaches pregame. Plate umpire stands where? Behind home plate. Base umpire stands where? Front of home plate, facing their partner. Okay. Home coach comes out, visiting coach comes out, right? There's only two of us and the coaches aren't coming out. I'm gonna go to the home coach, right? Hey, John, we're ready to go, man. Let's get our pregame going. And then I'm gonna have my base umpire go to the visitors, right? And pregame, man, let's go, ready to go. They're gonna come out. As the plate umpire, who am I gonna talk to first? Home plate umpire, right? Just out of respect.
Coach.
What did I say?
You said home plate umpire. You're talking to yourself now.
Yeah, right.
You knew what he meant.
Yeah, I've never done that, right? Home coach, right? Just out of respect for them. All right, I'm gonna introduce myself, shake their hand, Tim Beveridge, Jeff, and then I'm gonna write that coach's name down on the lineup card. All right? I just always do, just because I've gotten in situations where I've simply forgotten his name. So I can.
Internet's a great thing for night before your game to get both first names and first two coaches.
Absolutely.
Because I forget.
If you're working a travel game though, right, you're not gonna have that opportunity. All right? But now when I speak to that coach throughout the game, it's not, hey, coach, right? It's, hey, Jeff. All right, Jeff wants to come out and talk to me. Yeah, hey, Jeff, come on out. Yeah, come on out, Jeff. We got that ball. What's going on? Yeah, thanks for asking. That was a really good question, Jeff. Right? It's not coach and it's not blue and it's not right? Because I want them to call me by my name. My name's Jim. Feel free to call me Jim. Right? Take the lineup card. I'm gonna go through the lineup card, right? Look for anything funny. They're doing a DH. Hey, I see you got a DH in a 5 spot, and I just shake my head, and that's it, right? Visiting coach, right? Same thing. Introduce myself, get their first name. I'm gonna write it down on their lineup card. Straight 9 today, right, Ed? Awesome. Okay. All players properly equipped. I'm always shaking my head, right? The answer I want, I'm always, non-verbally giving them the answer that I want, right? And we'll do that, part of the verbal judo that Bill went through, right? A lot of that is that non-verbal communication to get the answer that you want, right? All players properly equipped. Any questions today? No? Jeff, you want to take us around real quick? Anything we need to know? All right. Have a great game. Have a great game. All right. And we're done. What does my base umpire say during pregame? Nothing. Even if I ask. Jeff, you got anything?
I don't have a thing.
We're good. No.
Awesome.
Don't fuck it up.
How long did my pregame just go?
Depends on how fast it took them to hand their lineup cards over and tear them into 3 pieces.
Really? I mean, how long? A minute? Right? I'm done. What do I need to talk about? Right? 1 minute, I'm done. Gentlemen, have a great game. Right? Jeff tells me don't fuck it up, punches me in the chest, turns around and runs out the right field. All right, let's go. Pitcher, come on, man. We got 8. Let's go. And get the game going. All right. There's no long, drawn-out conversations during the pregame. We just don't do it.
So I'm only asking this just because sometimes you get coaches, and only thing I've added to mine, and it's not to go crazy or anything like that. In the travel games, you have all kinds of different questions. Head first slide, some guy over, you'll have stuff that comes up. So those are the only league-specific questions that I'll kind of go through real quick that they brought up or whatever. You guys got any issues from the last game that came up that you played real quick? And just because it cuts it off, I can't really gain.
So you know what? So I was with you, right? I was with you on that first half. You're absolutely right. When you're, at these travel games, they got all kind of local in-house rules, right? There's nothing wrong with turning to the home coach, right? Any special rules we need to be aware of today, Jeff?
Can't have first slide. You can't do that.
Awesome. You good with that? Great. Gentlemen, have a great game. and then we're done, right? Nothing about what happened last game or, you know, anything like that, right? So I'm totally with you on that first half of that, right? So for travel games, right, if you haven't been there 6, 8, 10 times, right, if you don't know what any of the local, because there are local, you know, team rules, we're just not gonna know all of those at every travel customer that we deal with. So it's a good point. Anything else, John?
I was gonna say, you know, like the tournaments, you know, whether game day, JP Sports, Seminole, whatever it may be. Game day, we always have UICs there. Some of the other ones we may not. You may want to find the tournament director before you go to the field and double check, ask them on their rules, you know, what specifics in there.
Yeah, we have some really big customers, right? It used to be, you know, game day, and now it's game day, and it's the Seminoles, and it's JP Sports, and it's Pastime. So really, really big, important customers of ours, right? So you bring up a good point, John. Where's another place that I could probably get that information before I ever get my car? Right? You know, it's the same thing with the, you know, some of these big local tournaments we do. We do a big, huge memorial tournament in Grays Lake every year. They post their tournament rules, you know, a month in advance, right? And so everybody that's ever worked that, you always get an email from me, and I always attach it, you know, and here's all the special rules for this tournament. So yeah, that's a really good point. If you're when you're working these big events or these memorial tournaments, right, or Father's Day tournaments, whatever they are, jump on their website. And most of them will have, you know, specific tournament rules posted.
Yeah, but if you have multiple games, there might be a set of rules for 10 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you may have 3 sets of rules, small changes throughout 3 games.
Yeah, do your best to prepare yourself before you ever walk onto the field.
I'm just saying for those newer guys for those tournaments, I would, if there's a time limit, establish who's keeping time, and I would have the umpire keep the time rather than a coach. Parent or whoever, and at the end, there's no confusion how much time we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
What if like a play happens and the home coach brings up a rule that no one is aware of, like before of any of that they say is like a whole like field
It's
rule?
a home rule.
Sure.
What do you do?
So what do you do about a home rule? I mean, you call the rule based on the baseball rules that we're playing, all right? You know, I asked at the pregame if there were any special rules that we were playing by, and, you know, sorry, I got nothing, all right? So now if it's a tournament, right, and there's a tournament director there, and there's a process for, you know, initiating protest, then we kind of got to slow down, you know, and making sure we're working within the framework of that tournament. If I'm just out doing, you know, a travel game, and all of a sudden the coach wants to pull out this weird, you know, home rule that we're playing by. Coach, man, we talked about this at pregame, right? You should have brought that up. Right? You're not getting, you know, 3 bases, you know, on a check swing.
I got one more.
Yeah.
With like the 11U tournaments, you get these kids that are out there, some of them just learning how to pitch, and they'll have there's no balk warnings. I will take leniency on that, unless it's really deliberate. I won't say anything, or else I'm gonna be calling balks all game long, because these kids don't have a clue, some of them. And then I'll talk to them after the inning and say, hey, you gotta watch what you're doing here. Try and help them out.
What do you guys think about that? I'm not there to coach these kids, right? Well, what does everybody want you to be? Consistent, fair, right?
Yeah, I'll be fair.
So if I need, you know, if I'm doing an 11U game and I need to be lenient at a lower level, which I do, right? Because again, you could be there all day, you know, just calling box, and all you're gonna do is get yourself in trouble, right? It's like that borderline ball is always a what?
Strike.
Always a strike. Always a strike. Early and often. You will have less trouble. Your games will go by so much quicker, right? If you just call strikes, right? And not call the box, right?
Right.
Because, and then the other coach is going to say something to you, Jeff, no, that's not a balk today. All right? We're here to play baseball.
No, I'll usually tell them right at pregame, I'll say, hey, you know what, I know you guys have no block warnings, unless it's really deliberate. I'm gonna let the kids learn how to pitch, and then we'll talk in between innings if I need to.
Again,
Again,
I get it. For me, it's less is more, right? I don't need to tell you what I'm doing when I'm on the field.
Well, you're gonna hear later, hey, before the game, you said you're gonna let that go. You know,
No, I said unless it's really deliberate. Sometimes you can tell when they're pretty darn deliberate.
So I'd rather just not say anything. That would be my guidance. Get through that 1 minute pregame. You know, I'm here to be consistent. I'm here to be fair. It's not about today. All right, and I say it with a smile. All right, here we go. Let's go. And we're done. All right.
Jim,
Yes.
A quick 101 question, so veterans, please don't laugh at me. When do you get the game balls? You're having a plate meeting, ready to start the game, and you don't have the game balls. So when do you ask for the game balls, and how many balls fit in a bag? Right? Do I need 2 bags? Do I need 1 bag?
Well, in 2010. Ball bags were a little small. Anybody better, right?
I was scared too. I carry 2 bags because I keep stuff in the other one.
So yeah, I always carry 2 bags, right? Because if not, I always feel like I'm leaving.
Right. Even if we don't have enough balls to put in 2 bags, I'll wear 2 bags. It looks better.
Yeah.
You know, I can, in between pitches, I can put my hands inside the ball bags, you know, on the top of them. And it's, you know, you got more compartments in the ball bags. It looks better. I think it looks more professional. Just make sure.
Jeff normally keeps his in front a little bit.
So when did I ask the home coach for the 3 game balls? When did I do that?
They're usually given when you're walking on.
But if they're not, I think the question is if they're not, right? Are you going to wait until pregame, the coach's pregame to ask for them, right? Or what I might do is when I'm ready to start my pregame, right? I'll say, hey, Jeff, man, we're going to start our pregame. Hey, by the way, I haven't gotten any game balls yet. Can I get those from here again? And you get them, and then, hey, okay, ready, Jeff, let's go to our
It
pregame.
used to be the easy thing to do when we were signing books. Go and sign the whole book, get baseballs.
Yeah, Wayne, they'll find their way to you. It could be one of the visiting team, the pitcher has one, you know, and you won't see that until the bottom of the first.
But worst case, at my pregame, what my coach is. We'll say, you know, Jeff, I haven't gotten any game balls yet.
They find that both pitchers are warming up with a game ball. So that team that's going to field the bottom of the anyway, still throwing that thing.
Here's something else too. If you guys want to make sure your games are always less than 2 hours, you know, the difference between a 155 game and a 205 game is a lot of little shit that goes on in between that you can control. You know, when you're down to no baseballs, tell the coach, I got no baseballs while the pitcher still has one. So on the next pitch, when it's a foul ball, we're not all standing around waiting for a baseball to be thrown in. You know, it's little things like that to stay ahead of the game from an admin standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. In between innings, the best time to speed up your games.
Shoot for a minute, right?
Okay. Yep.
Shoot for 60 seconds.
You set the tone. First impressions, in-game management. All right. How am I standing in between innings? All right. An impression. Yeah, if I'm tired, I had a bad day, you know, I kicked my dog, you know, I'm just kind of like this. I mean, people see that. All right. No, man, I'm happy to be here. I had butterflies, right? I'm working a big game with Alan, and he gave me the dish, you know, let me do the dish, and I'm out there. I jogged up to my spot, and, you know, I'm counting pitches, I'm standing tall, and got a little smirk on my face because I'm happy to be here, right? It's all about your presentation, right? You're stepping into the pitch, right? You're snapping in, right? You're stepping out, you're standing tall, right? You're calling your strikes, you're big, you're tall. All of that matters, right? Get strikes. Strikes, strikes, strikes. Your games will go so well if you just get strikes all day long. First pitch, get a strike. All right, doesn't matter where it is. Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah. Don't answer so quick.
Still gotta sell it.
You call that first pitch a shin burner strike, then you gotta live with the rest of the day. That gets to be a tough day. Make sure they can hit it.
Right? Think about it. Isn't that first pitch always a strike? Might be. All right? If it's close, what am I doing?
It's a strike.
Taking a strike. What's going to happen?
Pretty bad.
Start swinging back. Right? And then the coaches, coaches aren't screaming about strikes. They're screaming about, man, your zone is tight. You're killing my 12-year-old. Right? You can only throw 60 pitches, right? And you're calling 40 of them balls. No, I'm calling 40 of them strikes. And they're swinging, the game's moving, base runners are running, right? That's how you get a game going. Call that first strike.
Yeah, especially the pitch counts. I think the coaches want you call them plus or minus, or plus a baseball all the way around.
Plus a baseball, absolutely.
It's off the plate.
Maybe more.
Call a piece of it.
He brings up a good point, in the pitch counts now, there's a lot of gamesmanship that's going on in the game where pitcher, especially in some of the conferences where they play 3-day series, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the teams are going to try to get into the other team's bullpen by taking pitches and forcing those pitch counts to go up. So more than ever, we need to get those strikes, if nothing else, to keep the game flowing and prevent some of that gamesmanship from happening.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Set the pace of play. Right? Have a level of urgency, a sense of urgency, right? We're moving. I'm jogging everywhere I go. Even when I'm walking fast, right? If there's a pitcher's conference, there's a conference out at the mound, right? I'm not walking out there, right? I'm moving. And then when I break their huddle, right? I turn around to go home plate. What am I doing?
Beat the catcher there.
Oh yeah, beat the catcher there, right? I mean, pace of play, right? Everybody will feed off of what you're doing. If you're moping around, your game's going to last 2+ hours. Okay? Hustle, be crisp. Do not look for friends. And this is especially important at the travel level. I guarantee you there are parents that think they know more than you, or than they coached, or they umpired, 20 years ago and in 2010. Right? Don't look for friends. You have no friends. Right? There's nothing wrong with a smile. Right? That's it. Right? You make eye contact with a certain fan and you want to smile at them, smile. Right? And get back to what you're doing. Right? Do not look for issues. Some of the things we talked about a little bit ago, right? We're not looking for issues. We don't need issues. Okay? There's a safety issue that's different, but we're not looking for issues. One of my travel umpires, I won't mention any names, he works a ton of games for me, right? The only negative feedback I ever get about this umpire is they're always looking for stuff, right? No issues, balls and strikes, no issues, anything. They're always looking for stuff. Trying to coach my kids, or tell my kids what to do, or tell my coaches what to do. They're over-managing these games, right? Go out there and just go out there and let the game manage, right? Don't look for stuff. Right? If there's something to deal with it. Coaches' discussions and confrontations. Verbal Judo by Bill Vincent. Anybody see that last weekend? Awesome. Any chance I get to watch that, I love watching it. All right. Bill does a really nice job. I put his name up there because I'm basically going to steal everything he said. And all right. Wait for the coach to come to you. Yeah. Don't look for issues to discuss with the coach. Okay. If the coach wants to talk to you, the coach will talk to you. Be open and inviting, right? It's not this, right? It's not this. Certainly not this, right? We're not doing any of that, right? I'm breaking Alan's stuff, but no, I got it. Be open and inviting. Be a guy that somebody wants to talk to. They just have a question, right? I mean, sometimes shit's gonna blow up, they're gonna come at you, and you'll deal with it accordingly. But 99% of the time, you can diffuse the situation just by your attitude and how you communicate. This is just like in life, right? We have communications and confrontations all the time. It's all in how we diffuse them and handle them, right? I don't liken umpires to police officers because I don't think that's fair, but you know, a lot of law enforcement officials are really good umpires. There's a reason for that, because they can diffuse situations and manage confrontation. So we need to be able to manage confrontation. Wait for the coach to come to you. I may take a couple steps, right, towards the end, towards them. So again, a little bit of nonverbal language that I'm going to greet you, right, and then I'm going to open up. And so what does that mean, Jeff? Stand up. You're coming towards me, right? So you have a question, right? Right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to open up, right? And then I'm just going to listen, right? Very non-aggressive, right? Most people say hands at your side now, all right? Used to be kind of put your hands behind your back, put your hands in your back pocket, kind of a non-aggressive, right?
Dual ball bags are good for that.
Right? Dual ball bags are good for that. Hands to the side, but I'm going to open up, right? I'm going to listen. I'm going to shake my head. I'm not going to say a word, right? And Jeff's going to tell me why he's out there. Then after about 20 seconds, he's going to get really tired.
I've got to talk myself
right?
out of that.
And then I'm going to repeat the question. I'm going to box him in. So what you're asking me is if he pulled his foot. That's what you're asking me?
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been out here working. I'm working really hard. Yeah. Had a really good angle on that, right? And I had his foot on there all day long. Right? We good?
We're gonna have to be.
Awesome. And so then I turn around, I disengage, right? Or there's the Uber drop off, which I love, right? Which is once I open up, I actually start walking back to the coach's position. That might be the dugout, might be first base, right? It might be third base, but I'm actually, I'm non-verbally, I'm taking the coach back until I get close enough and the coach is tired of talking. I repeated the question, I boxed the coach in to exactly why they're out there, right? So it's not something that happened 3 innings ago, which is a lot of times why coaches come out, right? I boxed them in. So let me answer your question, Jeff, right? What you're asking me is this, and man, I'm telling you, I'm working hard out here, right? Had a really good look at that one. We definitely had him out there. And I've already dropped him off to where he's supposed to be. I said, all right, man, we're going to go play ball. And I turn around and I run away. What's the coach going to do? Smiled at him. I've engaged. I've walked him back to where they're supposed to be. All right? Now, it's over. All in how you handle it. And don't forget to smile. It's okay to smile. All right? Seriously, people like people that smile.
Hey, Jim?
Yes.
One of the things I found that helps with that situation before it happens, to at least give him the impression that you're approachable, is please and thank you. If you're looking for baseballs, instead of barking over, Coach, I'm out of baseballs. Jim, can I get some more baseballs, please? Kids that grab foul balls as they bring them up. Thank you, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That gives the impression that you're more approachable, so if he does come out, maybe he's not so hot-tempered anymore. And then if you have to ask him to return to the dugout, Coach, Jim, can you return to the dugout, please? We need to get going.
Yeah, I do that at home all the time. It works for me. All right, it does. All right, everybody do that at home, please and thank you. With a smile. All right. You know, again, guys, just kidding aside, this is life, right? We're communicating with a coach about a situation that we need to deal with. So we open up, we're non-aggressive, non-confrontational, we're not red asses anymore, right? Back in the day, I was probably the biggest red ass. And we just don't do that anymore. Right? It's just not acceptable. All right? Non-aggressive, nod your head, smile. Yeah, so what I hear you, Ed, what you're asking me, Ed, Is that right? Is that what you're asking me? Here's what I got, Ed. We're walking back to your position. All right, Ed, we're all good, man. Let's go play baseball. Turn around and off I go. All right? It works. It really does. Let the coach finish. Don't interrupt the coach. All right? Assess the issue. What does he want? Is he asking about a rule? Is he asking about, a judgment? Right? Is he asking you to go get help? Thinks you were out of position and you need to go get help? Box him in. Figure out what exactly the coach is asking you. All right? Once the coach is done talking, they try to cut you off, right? Let them finish. These things aren't going to go on for minutes at a time, right? And then when he stops again, say, Coach, you interrupted me once, right? I'm trying to give you an answer, right? I want to understand what you're asking, so let me just finish. Good? Sure. So what you're asking me is that right?
Sure.
And then you give them the answer. Calm them down, all right? And remember to smile when you speak. It's not personal. It's really not personal. Question? Oh, I think I did break it. Alan? Maybe. I am from Ohio.
He smiled when he asked that.
You have to stay there now.
Is that your digital unit?
All right, so again, a lot of this we talked about, right? I let you speak. You want to listen to what I have, right? You've interrupted me, Coach, right? I know you're passionate about this, but you got to let me talk. You got to let me give you an answer, right? It's all just how we're communicating. I understand. I hear what you're saying. Awesome, thanks. I've explained what I have. Let's play ball. Pivot, disengage, right? Now, if that coach comes running after you, you're probably going to have a problem, right? Nice.
He's good.
Yes. Yes, very true. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to chase you. Okay? Handle it in the right way, they're not going to chase you. Right? Now, if they want you to go to your partner, you agree that you're going to go to your partner, right? Make sure that you talk to the coach about what has to happen to avoid a second issue, right? Hey, Jeff, I just want to get the call right? And understand what you're saying, all right? I'm going to go to my partner. I'm going to ask my partner, okay? What I need you to do, I need you to head back to the dugout. Let me go talk to my partner. And whatever ruling we make, you're not coming back out, right?
All right.
We okay? All right, I'm going to go to my partner and we're going to get this call right, okay? But you're not going to come back out again, okay? So I'm just bartering, right? You've asked me to go to my partner, but I'm going to get something in return for doing it. I want that coach off the field, and I want him to commit that he's not coming back out. I go to my partner. We talked about it in pregame, right? Talk to Jeff about what we're doing, right? If I ever need to come to you, we talk about it. Who's going to make the call? The original calling umpire. Always, right? Go talk to my partner, return. I got an out. Jog back to my position. I've already told the coach you can't come back out, right? The coach probably knows that he's going to get run if he does. And we play ball. Veterans all agree. Anything you would do different in addition to?
The thing you got to be ready for is if you don't have this and you had a reversal, the other guy's probably going to come out.
Absolutely.
And you'll deal with it again.
Right, and so I'm going to do the same thing's going to happen, except I'm not going to say, well, let me go to my partner. Yeah, so he's gonna come out, right? And I'm going to have to deal with that situation. How can you change that call, right? Oh, because, coach, we're just trying to get the call right. We're working really hard on getting that call right.
I think that's part of
And
it.
I got some information from my partner that helped me get that call right. Explain it to them, diffuse the situation, do the Uber drop off, open up, walk them back, shake your head, smile, and say, play ball. Yeah.
Okay, I know this usually happens with younger teams, but one or two coaches from like opposite teams start like fighting, not fighting, but like verbally like being aggressive with each other.
We're not gonna have it.
I was wondering, so, when,
Well, hang on, are you answering his question?
no.
All right, hang on for 1 second. Anybody? Better?
Say, hey, we're not gonna have that here. You guys address your own team, both sides, sportsmanship.
Who am I telling that to?
Both teams.
Both head coaches. Both managers. Right? Not to both teams, right? I'm telling, right? Jeff, not today, right? Talk to your team right away. Let's get this under control. Counting on you. You turn to the other coach, Ed, get this under control, okay? Not gonna have this today, all right? Need you to do this for me, okay? We good? Awesome. All right, sorry, you had a question?
Yeah, so, like you said with the call reversal, and you talk to your partner, the coach, might wanna talk to your partner about what he saw from the call, are you gonna let him do that? Or
No, it's my call. It's my call. Hey, you asked, I went to my partner, we wanna get the call right. We talked about it. My partner gave me some information to help me. We got the call right.
And then
It's my call.
If he takes off after him, let him go, and your partner should direct him right back to you, because that's.
Absolutely.
For the new ones, do you give it the signal to both teams or just to the coach that you were talking to that came out to ask? If you're gonna call it out or if you're gonna call and say.
No, I'm just calling one time.
You're paying attention.
I'm not calling it to any coach in particular at all, right? I talk to my partner, right? I break my huddle, right? I turn, I've got an out,
Because the
and then we go.
way to get the coach out of the dugout is to call what he didn't want and look right at him and go like that. You don't wanna do that.
You're just being a red ass now, right? You're just inviting.
So make sure you don't.
I want to diffuse the situation as best I can. All right? Don't want to be a red ass. All right, tools to engage. In my judgment, I used it earlier. Hey, I'm working hard, man. I had a great look at that. I got that call right. I was in position. All right. Do the Uber we talked about, right? Open up, start walking the coach back, right? What's your partner doing in these situations? Younger guys.
Closing the
Closing the gap,
Close
right?
enough to hear what's going on.
I want to be able to hear, but I'm not engaging, all right? I'm not threatening. It's not 2 against 1. Right? If an assistant coach is creeping, right, I'm gonna walk over to the assistant coach. Hey, let these guys chat. You and I will go stand over here, right? You head back to first, right? It's all good. These guys will figure it out, man. All right, so you're gonna be the wingman. You're gonna clean everything up, all right? Don't let anybody, get 2-on-1 against your partner. Right.
Speaking of assistants, do the new guys know where assistant coaches stand on the food chain?
I think that would be
At the end of the line.
It's kind of, and that's the thing, I can tell you at travel, that was a couple instances that I had that near the end of the season, I was saying, coaches, I'll take questions from you, please have your assistants run the questions through you guys. That's the one thing where you get an over aggressive assistant. I had one going off on me on third base about, stuff, and then at the end of the game, it's nothing personal. I'm just really sticking up for my kids, and I was just like, okay, great, but
yeah,
I'd like to hear how you guys handle that, the assistants when they really start getting more and more boisterous.
If that assistant is causing you a problem, I'm not going to even engage him and tell him to stop, but I'm going to tell the head guy, you control him or I'm going to get you. He's your responsibility. You got to get him under control.
Jeff, you're the head coach, right? If you need anything, you let me know, okay? We're not talking to the assistants, right? We're not going there, all right? And be careful how you word that, right? You don't want to throw them under the bus, right, in front of the parents or anything like that, right? Because you're just gonna piss them off, right? But you're going to the head coach. Hey, I'm here for you. If you have a question, let me know. If you need to talk to me, make sure dead ball situation. More than happy to answer any question you have for you, not from your assistants.
With a smile.
With a smile, right? But I'm not going to preemptively do that. I mean, never have a problem with an assistant. So I'm never telling the coaches up front, hey, I'm only talking to you guys today. I don't need to say that at all. I may never have that situation around us. Okay. No last word. All right. It's just human nature. We always want to get that last word in.
That's hard.
All right.
That's hard.
It's just like in life. We always want that last word, right? We always want to be right. No, I got that last word. I'm right. Just that coach starts walking away, and man, Jim, that call sucked, man. And he just starts walking away. What am I gonna say?
Never run them when their back's turned to you, they're walking away.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I mean, there's certain ways to run a coach, and we're not doing the crow hops anymore, right? The double crow hops.
What I will say, every year I get one complaint from a coach or an umpire where nobody on the field knows the coach was ejected. All right, so you don't have to be demonstrative and do the over the top, but at least your partner should know that what the coach has just been ejected. People should know ejection just happened. So don't try to be low key and go like this. Still go through the motion. It doesn't have to be over the top.
Yeah, right. I mean, like this, guys.
Impersonal.
Right? And I do that as I turn away from the engagement with the coach. Because then what happens? What does my partner do? Now my partner steps in. All right? Now, I'm not touching the coach, right? We're never touching a coach, ever. We're never touching a player. All right? But I'm coming in, hey, Jeff, we got to go, man. Come on, we're done. You had your say. We got to go. Right? And you try to walk them. If it doesn't work, right, you got to circle back and you got to re-engage, right? Because I mean, you guys seen them, right? You see some of the videos where they're just not going to let it go. They want a piece of the ejecting umpire, right? So you got to play rodeo clown with them, right? Until you get them. But I'm not grabbing the coach. I'm not, hey, come on, let's go. Not putting my arm around his waist to try to turn him or anything. I'm just getting in his way, right? Hey, Jeff, we got to go, man. Come on. Really? All right, you've been out here for like 2 minutes, dude. All right, we gotta go. So eject so everybody knows ejected, and do it as you disengage. And then let your partner come in and clean it up. All right?
What would you say to the newer guys when they have that situation come up where they have a coach that they're just ejected, they're working one man?
So really good question. Hopefully you have a board member that's on site if it gets out of hand. John, I've ejected you. We need to move on. All right. I need you to leave. If not, all right, I'm gonna have to have a board member come out. I need your assistant coach to step in. We need to finish this up. What else? It's kind of hard, right?
It's hard when you're doing one.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Right? But I'm still positive, I'm still professional. I'm not cursing, I'm not getting in your face. I'm not telling you to get off the damn field, you're making a fool of yourself. I'm not doing any of that. Ed, I ejected you for good cause. This conversation's over. We're not talking about this situation anymore. I need you to leave.
I mean, I'd say, try to avoid ejections if at all possible, especially in a lower level, like a freshman game. There's only one coach there, and you toss them, and there's not another coach, the game's over, it's a forfeit. So it's like, hey.
Don't be an asset.
Yeah, hey, Dave, you know what? I said, I understand what you said. I saw it differently. He said, you don't want to get thrown out. I don't want your players to get thrown out. I need you to go back to the dugout. I need to get back to play ball.
But are you going to manage your ejection differently just because there's only one coach there?
I defuse as much as I possibly
In
can.
those lower games, Jim, we just put them on the bench. I mean, I've had 3 ejections and one was a fan in last 10 years.
Yeah, so in 2010, we weren't allowed to do that. There were no bench restrictions.
But now you have the ability
But
to
that-
put them on the bench, just put them on the bench.
But that's a tool, right? That's a tool that you can use, right? Restrict them to the bench.
Then you might have to go get somebody from a teacher or something to come out and coach first base or something.
No, that's a good point, guys.
I haven't done any more.
All right, post game. No, we're getting late here, guys. Game's over. What am I doing? I'm leaving. Get my partner, get off the field. I'm not shaking hands, right? I'm not looking for a book to sign. I'm not watching the teams, do the handshake line and, come over and say, boy, you did a great job, Blue. All right? Get my water, I get my partner, I'm off the field as quickly as I came on it.
Are we going out a certain way if we had a shitstorm in the 6th inning?
We are the opposite way.
Even if our car's over there.
We're going out the other way. Not walking past that dugout.
Away from the high tide.
That's a really good point. All right? When would we have that discussion? Pre-game, right? Hey, if we get a shit storm, something happens, Joe's been an asshole lately, hey, let's make sure we exit, down the first base line. It'll be a longer walk for us, but probably be better. Right? Anticipate. Have an honest, detailed post game with your partner. We all want to get better. All right. Now, if I'm working with a veteran, it's certainly not my place to say, "Oh, you missed those 6 pitches in the 4th inning." All right. Were you getting tired? That's not what I need. Right. But you want to get better, right? Hey, it kind of had a weird rotation, right, in the 4th on that 1st and 3rd. Maybe help me out a little bit with that one, right? Because you're thinking about the situations during the game where either you felt uncomfortable or maybe you missed the rotation, right? I mean, it does happen, right? You want to have those honest conversations after the game with your partner, right? Your partner's there to help you. You guys need to help each other, okay? Keep it positive, keep it professional all the time. Clean your equipment. So, my shoes are always clean because I'm always doing it during the post game. Sitting there talking, we're chatting, going over our post game, cleaning my shoes, spraying my chest protector, getting my bag ready for my next game. Okay? A coach or a fan engages you in a negative way, if somebody follows you out to the parking lot, what do? You guys get in your cars, gear on, and you leave. All right? You guys want to meet somewhere? You guys already talked about going to go have a beer at the bar or something. You can drive the 3 miles down the road or whatever it is, and change in the bar's parking lot. Right? Don't engage fans. Don't engage coaches after the games. Nothing good will come of it. Right?
For the new guys, that doesn't happen often. Anybody think it does? Don't let that freak you out. Know how to deal with it.
No, but if it happens, you just leave. You just disengage, right? If it's really bad, call 911. There's laws against, touching an official in the state of Illinois. If you're fearful that the situation is getting out of hand, just call 911.
Yeah, if it's a high school game, just find a school official. I'll tell you, this happens probably twice a year. And I'll say that the schools, DADs, really come down hard on the parents that do this. So if something like that happens, reach out to me, find a school official there, and they'll take care of it.
Awesome. This is kind of an eye chart. We talked about all this stuff. This is just kind of a recap, some of the tips to remember. I just put it in there so you guys can access it later. I'm not going to go through all of these. We're at 8:35. So questions? Newer guys. Everybody excited for 2018? Yeah, it's going to be a great year. It's going to be our biggest year ever. so excited to have our newer officials with FVB. We really, really welcome you. And as you've seen at Belvedere, Wheaton College, these classes that we have on Thursday, you have a tremendous amount of support. All right, we all want you to be successful, and we'll do whatever it takes to help you. Okay, so find a mentor, right? You know, a lot of times, you know, you think of your assigner as your kind of go-to mentor. You know, Jeff's pulling 40 hours a week, just assigning games during the high school season. You know, plus his regular career, plus his family, right? Same in the summer, right? Working a ton of hours assigning games and stuff. A lot of times it's better to find a veteran umpire, right, as a mentor. Jeff and I are here for you. We'll always, you know, do whatever we can to help you. But, you know, jump on the Facebook, right?
Facebook page is great.
Facebook page is awesome, right? If you're not on it, it is a closed group, so you do have to request access to it. It's amazing. It's a great site. But you see all the veterans sitting here, every single one of them will be more than happy to help out any of our newer umpires. So yeah, I welcome each of you to our family and look forward to being having a successful year. So any other questions?
Are
So-
majority of your games, are they people by themselves or are majority of your team apart?
So, you know, it's a really good question. It's a really good mix. So, you know, a lot of our local travel programs, you know, and our Little League programs are almost all one man, right? High school varsity, it's all two-man. Most of the underclass is one man. I think there's a conference or two out west that works two-man. Then you get into those big tournaments, right? The game days, the JPs, the Seminoles, the pastime, great opportunities to learn two-man, right? Because you're working 12U, 13, 14U games, not as high pressures as some, you know, the varsity is at high school. And, you know, you've got a lot of fields going on at the same time. You've got, you know, umpires in chief, you know, UICs that are working these. Great opportunity to learn two-man without all the pressure. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, when you go onto the assignment portal, you'll be able to tell which games are one-man and which games are two-man. All right. So after the date and the time, there's two numbers. The first number is the number of games. The second number is the number of umpires. So if it says 1 and 1, one game, one umpire. Might say 1 and 2. Now you know it's going to be a partner game. And so as a newer guy, I'm sitting there saying, okay, I'm going to, you know, maybe my first 10 games this year, I'm going to work one man, right? Just to get my strike zone going and, you know, get the blood flowing again. But, you know, maybe that second weekend, I want to work, you know, some two-man, right? So maybe you pick some of those game day two-man. Or reach out to your assigner, reach out to Jeff, reach out to myself, with whatever your goals are. Say, hey, you know, I've been working for 4 years and, you know, I want to, whatever your goal is, right? Let us know and we'll try to help you achieve those as best we can. Other questions?
I want to know if you outgrew Eddie Hayes tonight.
By what? Outdrew?
More people here tonight than last week.
Yes.
Well, that's good. I'd be proud of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar to set, I'm sure. You know, net is.
Will we ever work with somebody that's not a member of Fox Valley Blues?
I hope not.
You could if you're off working for other groups. But within FVB, in the central core of where you're at, the answer is no.
I had a game last year, or a tournament last year, it was on Monday, I think, Jim sent me over there. There was, one umpire, he was more local there. I was working with him for 2 years.
Yeah, so there's some of these tournaments where the visiting teams are required to like bring in an umpire.
That was a home team, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So every once in a while, I mean, it's very rare, but you know, it's not something that we do on purpose. But sometimes you'll have these tournaments, these little communities where they, or sometimes they'll say, hey, we're using our in-house for this tournament for the bases. younger kid working the bases. Not very often. Other questions?
Jim, do you try to pair up a newer guy with a veteran when, you know, they FVB sports stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. That's that tool, those games, some of the best opportunities that we can use to help our new umpires get acclimated to umpiring, find mentors. John's a big UIC. He does a lot. He manages a lot of those tournaments, and so our UICs have the ability to move some guys around as well. So, you know, maybe a situation where I have two younger umpires on one field, two veterans on another. John will go in and swap them out and give you guys
And
opportunities.
as
to work.
you know, if you're at a tournament with a UIC and you're not sure about some things, your UIC is always going to be approachable. You know, if you want to take a few minutes, talk with them, have them, or can you come out and watch me for a while? So, you know, you get another set of eyes to help you out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the responsibilities we have.
So before you get dressed at one of those that have a UIC, let the UIC know you're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always give us the phone number to contact them to let, so that if they want to put you with somebody else and you've already talked with your partner the night before, they may change you so that you're doing the plate instead of the bases because they want to see you doing things.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things in the tournament when you have a UIC, and I know Jim or Jeff will send out the original email and then the UIC will follow up. And I know myself as well as some of the other UICs. One of the big things we put in there is when you get on site, let your UIC know that you're there. Especially when we have tournaments where, the large tournaments where it's across 3 or 4 complexes. We're at one place, we won't know about the other locations. We rely on that. Because if somebody doesn't show or they're running late, you know, it helps us say, okay, I gotta take you, move you over here, you're gonna go work with Jeff. And Jim, sorry, you gotta work solo on this game, so we can get somebody else out there. It just helps us manage everything better.
15 minutes left. Questions? Other questions?